the thing that we're both probably want to dig into, right? The Iga situation, right? We got some kind of problems, right? So right now, so Iga loses in the semifinals to Coco, right? And Coco has like oddly been beaten up on Iga lately. Like this is her third win in a row after being 0-11 against Iga, right?
Wow.
So yeah, but now she's got 3 wins in a row on the trot. So that is that I don't know. We can talk. We'll talk about Coco a little bit later, but with Iga, Iga's all over the place right now, right? Takes a bagel set to Madison Keys before riding the ship and getting through that match. Um, Coco beats her 1-1. Like,
Blown away.
yeah, it was weird. You could kind of see, not only use the word weird, but you could see that she was both her confidence and her forehand were all over the place, right? She looks like a player who's searching for something.
I
And
would even say her serve, Alvin. Her serve looked like it was a pinata up there, man. Her second serve looked like it was all grunt, no bite.
right,
And Coco, hats off to Coco, first of all. But we'll talk about her in a second. It did not seem like Iga had a solution. And I don't necessarily, she didn't attack the returns like she's used to.
right,
She didn't, I didn't see her get into many backhand matchups, which she knows she preferred. Mind you, Coco's got a good backhand as well, but I did not see typical attack every ball down the middle, center shots, on the rise balls, take backhands off the court. I didn't see a ton of backhand angles. She did have her fair share of decent passes, but ironically, Alvin, she came in about 7, 8 times
she came in a
and
lot.
got passed like she was standing still.
She
And
came
so
in
I'm
looking
looking
like
at
she didn't
this,
want to stay back.
right, and which is weird. And then
Very
she came
strange.
in and didn't volley well, and I'm like, it just didn't see. It seemed like she was looking for a way to beat a player who she's beaten before. She did not look number one esque. Is my issue.
Right.
What do you think is is not just the problem, but what do you think was her mindset? Because to me, it looked like a player who's doubting themselves, who doesn't know how to win in matches like this when players are actually coming at her.
Right. I think that last part is the kicker, right? Like we'll even put the crown on Penko's head
Yep.
for showing the blueprint of like this
Thank
is
you.
how you consistently beat Iga
Beat Gasol.
Swiatek.
No
Right.
doubt.
And Penko does it by relentlessly attacking the second serve and then jumping on Iga before she jumps on you.
Yep.
And with
Which used to
Coco,
be Iga's trademark, by the way.
right. And Iga used to do it with the hat down, moving a million miles an hour, right? Like, yeah, just like having this air of like this super intense, more or less kid. But now it's like people believe that they can beat her. And it only takes like let me get a look at a few second serves.
Yep.
Let me weather whatever the storm is gonna be in the first, like when she comes out full of energy, I'll just fight through that and then I'm gonna start going after her, which is very interesting in that a lot of people talk about Coco's issues with the serve and the forehand, which are two things that you would use to go after someone, but yet Coco has been able to put it together this week in that technically her forehand doesn't look any different. She's hitting it with more intention, I believe. Like her
And more free.
yeah, she just
She
like
hit. If you look at Coco's two matches between Iga and Arena, it was two different players. Coco's forehand against Iga was like, watch this.
well, it's like Iga's ball like sits like it's weird. Like it's like the clay court in Madrid is like a slow hard court. It's like it's
Right.
just fast enough for you to have some rhythm, but it sits just enough for her to like hit that open stance that she wants to hit, like load that right leg
Yep.
and then just rip from the hips. Like Coco's not too good when she has to like step in and like really force the issue with it, but if she has time to hit the open stance and like use your pace, it's almost like Iga's ball sits right where she needs it to be.
And she tagged it cross. She tagged it
Oh my
line.
god.
She came in. Hey, Alvin had some good volleys. I mean, played well from the net. I was like, wow, Coco's
Yeah.
improved.
And
Now,
Iga
and
was
I will
he
say
just
this: Paula Badoza went to Coco's forehand.
yeah, but she
Iga
didn't.
tried, and Iga got torched doing so. Which I'm left with two things out. Either Iga's ball sits up, to your point, so much that it's hittable, or Arena's ball is that much bigger than we all understand. I don't know which camp I'm on yet. I can't think that Arena's ball is 20 miles an hour faster. I could give you 10, maybe 8, which is significant, by the way, at that level. But I gotta think that Iga's ball is that much more user friendly, right? She's like an iPhone. It's hey, oh, all you gotta do is do this. And my point being, Coco recently has had issues with other players attacking her forehand.
Right.
So how is it that she one and ones Iga on the clay, and Iga's pretty good on clay? How is it she one and ones Iga on the clay and goes through her with her forehand?
So okay, so I'm gonna get a little not. It's kind of technical, right? I think it's kind of technical. You look at Badosa, you look at Iga, you look at Arena, right?
Yep.
So Badosa doesn't hit the biggest ball in the world, right?
Right.
And she was going to that forehand. This is Australian Open. We're probably referencing here, right?
Yep.
She's
Yep.
going to that forehand more so like try to make it. Just try to make it. I'm not gonna try to hurt you. I'm just gonna make you hit it a bunch of times. See, just it's going over there. Deal with it, right? But that's a different proposition, especially since a lot of Coco's problems come from that extreme grip, right? You're talking about a ball that's not coming up very high, and now you're using like a damn near Western trying to get underneath it, right? It's a little bit of a different proposition.
Sure.
And I mentioned the grip part because Iga hits a heavy topspin ball, right? Now it's and Iga's not like she ain't out here trying to draw errors. She's out here trying to go through you, but she's trying to go through you with a heavy topspin ball. That's actually the one that Coco's forehand is built to. It's actually
Well, with
she can handle that one. Yeah,
100%,
yeah. Open
100%.
up, open up the stance, let that grip slide underneath, and throw it right. Throw it
And
down
throw
the
it.
line too. Like change directions. It's a
She hits so many good down the lines, which
so
is not
many.
easy for that grip and that stance. And that's my point. And Alvin went there constantly. I mean, she probably had 10 airs down the
But
line,
it's on the but
10
it's on
winners
the
down the
open.
line.
But they were all off the open stance though. I feel like there's
No
something
question.
about like getting
But
on the
Iga's
outside foot.
fast, and she went through her on the clay. I'm with
Right.
you, but I'm not. I'm saying she found pace off of that ball, found a groove. I get your point about the groove and the way the ball sits up. I think that's well said. But we're talking about Clay, one of the fastest girls on the tour, and she went through her with clean winners down the line. I'm just saying, Iga hugs the baseline like no other. It's not like she's gotten slower. I just wonder, has her ball gotten slower? And that's
Maybe.
my only issue. And I know the serve did. It looked like it. But to your point about maybe a little altitude, maybe a little clay, I don't know. But what I will say is it did not look like herself. I'm worried about her in some ways. I feel like she has, of all the players in the top 5, she has been the one most missing in action from top form, probably since last year U.S. Open. And I feel like, who did she play, Alvin? What tournament was that she played Emma Navarro and she put the beat down on Navarro? Was that U.S. or was
I
that
think it was the
Australia?
U.S. I think it was the U.S. Open
U.S. last year,
last
right?
year.
Last
Yeah.
U.S. And I think Emma was trying to get games at the end. Wasn't that tournament like it was 6-1, 5-1, and Emma was trying to salvage out a couple of
Yeah,
flat
I think
games
so. I have
out
to
of
go
it?
back and double check that, but I think
But
so.
but my point being, this was U.S. Open last year, Alvin. This is just now May.
Well,
We're
I
not.
mean, if you look at it though, like Iga, okay, last year Iga had a pretty good year, right? She like in this lead up between beginning of the year and now, right? She won Rome, she won Madrid, Indian Wells, Doha, right? She ripped off a bunch of 1000s and then won Roland Garros, right?
Yep.
She has not finaled a tournament since Roland Garros last year. That's
Since.
wild. That's wild. She's usually winning somewhere between 5 and 7, 8 events a year up to
He,
this year, and now
he's old for.
she has not made a final in
He's old for.
11
Yeah,
months.
tough. That's tough.
So what are we taking from that?
I'll tell you what I'm taking from it. Blood in the water.
Yeah,
I told you in a few
yeah.
episodes back, Alvin, you don't want people saying you're playing well right now because that means it's okay to lose to you. Here's the opposite of that concept. She's not playing well right now. She's not feeling the ball well. Or here's the worst one. And this is a funny one. she's having some trouble on the forehand side, and here's its compatriot. She's beatable right now, and she's beatable right now. Basically, is saying she don't believe she can win. Everybody knows how to beat her. And number three, this is the best time to play Iga Swiatek.
Right.
And that to me bodes horrible for a top player who's everybody's next big win. Because in this window right now, until she changes some things, she will continue to have more blood in the water.
And especially when the coming over to the European clay has always been known as her like safe space, right? Like forget what happens from Australia all the way through Miami. It doesn't, the party doesn't start until they hit the clay, right? That's when Iga's supposed to rack them up, come into Roland Garros, and like, you know, she's the second coming of Rafa Nadal, except
You
for
add
we're
that
not, it's not happening, right? We stalled in Stuttgart. We stalled in where were we right before the obviously Madrid. So like I think this is where it's like it
she
puts a
didn't play Charleston, did she?
no. She didn't play
Right.
Charleston. She didn't
Yeah.
play Charleston. So I think it's getting a little bit now we see some pressure here. Like if she doesn't really crack it open in Rome,
She's done.
I don't know what Dunn looks like, but maybe Dunn is having a chance to
Dunn
become the
looks
number one
like
player in
not
the
making
world.
it to the second week. That's what Dunn looks like to me. I don't think she makes it past the second week. I think she barely makes it past Sunday, Monday of the second week. She'll get through the rank and file. I don't think she beats. I think there are too many good players that realize that she is beatable. And my problem with that is that opens up her side of the draw, and that opens up a wave of. There are too many good young players like the Alex Ayalas and others that are coming up that are saying, "Oh, please let me draw Iga Swiatek," and that's just not what you want players saying about you going into a major tournament like that. Um, and Alvin, I'm just telling you, when you people, she's beatable right now, and when they say that, it's not even it's not a threat, it's a fact, and that fact that you know you're beatable right now too. They do not have that fear
That's probably
factor.
worse.
That fear, thank you. That fear factor, Alvin, can get you a first set and let you get your legs under you and
Right.
kind of let the score kind of play to your favor. Hold serve, get a couple of breaks, just kind of win on momentum. That fear factor is no longer there for Iga. I mean, you got players that are playing her style against her better than she's doing it, and that's what I'm worried about with Iga. And you heard it right here. Maybe a racket change, maybe something, but she needs to do something fairly soon if she wants to reclaim her footing and her dominance. And for a girl that works so hard and really tactically kind of develops the game that she does, for her not to have ways to hurt you on the clay
Yeah.
and have other players who are realizing they can go through you like Swiss cheese, that's a problem.
Well, also, you know, we have to look at it kind of from a macro view. Like maybe take a step back a second here.
Sure.
Iga, we're comparing Iga to Iga, right? Iga was one in the world. She was a multiple Grand Slam champion, right? Like, is she looking like a player that has a chance to threaten to be number one in the world again? No. Is she looking like a player who's the odds-on favorite going into Roland Garros right now? I would say no, but she's losing to okay. She got a Penko problem. Whatever. Let's put that to the side. Coco Gauff's won a Grand Slam, right? Coco Gauff's the third or fourth best player in the world. Like,
Sure.
she's not she's no slouch either. So I think we're still seeing her lose to good players, but these are the same players that she was. Like I said, she was 11. I think she was 11-0 against Coco before Coco beat her late last year. So that's worrisome. Before we get at it,
Let me add one thing. I'll
yeah,
add
please
one
do.
thing if I can before we change gears. She's reminding me more of a Leighton Hewitt with a brief 2 to 3 year peak than she's reminding me of an Andre Agassi with a 10 to 12 year dominance of span. She's reminding me more of a player that had an upstart and a quick descent at number one more than she's reminding me of a player who's about to beat the brakes off of another player for a length of time.
But
And the
that's
reason why that,
normal. That's
yeah,
normal. Like
for the
especially on the
women's
women.
tour, it's more
Yeah,
than normal,
it's
right?
the
But
3 year peak.
she wasn't normal, Alvin. The norm for the women's tour was win one and be gone, win one and fade, right? We're talking about a young lady that won 2 or 3 within a year. How many does Iga have? 5?
One U.S. Open, four. It's either 3 or 4 Roland Garroses. I don't know the
She
number
only
on the top
got
of my
4 or
head.
5.
Yeah,
I
sort of
think
4 or 5.
I thought it was 5, but I could be off. My point being, so we're not talking about a normal. We're talking about already better than most. Emma Raducanu has 1, right? Madison Keys has 1. It's normal for them for the top players to win 1. Sloane Stevens has 1. We're talking about for the greats, they have 5 plus. So I have to compare her to Iga among the greats, not Iga overachieving because she won 2.
So let me clarify. What I'm saying is that it's a 3-year window of greatness, and I like to call it the 3-year peak. Like once a player gets to their peak, specifically, this happens on the women's side. It happens on both sides. You got to kind of take the truly greats, our big threes plus Serena and what
Take
out
them
of
out
it.
of
Yeah, but
right.
you're gonna get to your peak, and then you're gonna be there for about kind of in that range, plus or minus 1 or 2 ranking spots
Yeah,
for
I'm with that.
max 3 years because someone's coming,
I,
and then
I don't disagree.
I think what we're seeing here is like I think we're seeing the end of her window, her
Now
peak
that we
window,
agree with.
her peak window, right?
Yep.
And I think that's just kind of that is actually I find that to be normal. That part is normal. It's any lots of players win 1 on the women's side. Lots of players win 1.
Yeah.
Randoms win 1, right?
Sure.
But being able to sustain something, I think that's the 3-year window I'm talking about. And she's coming up on this is probably like year 4 of that.
I was
She
about to
won her
say, so
first one. She
that window
won
might
the
be
weird one
closer.
in she won the weird one in 2020, the one in fall.
Yep.
The Roland Garros that was in fall. So let's say like her first legit one was in 2021, 2022.
Yep.
Yeah, that's this unless she's Serena, this should be it.